Hi guys, very good morning all of you. How are you doing today? So are we ready to start? So yesterday we have started this revision classes, and in that first I have taken overheads, and today let us continue with overheads, and today we'll solve some problems we'll see from ICI study material, and we will solve it on the board so that you understand it in a better way. Shall we do that? Before that, put the heading classification of overheads. Before that, put the heading classification of overheads. Okay, I'll give you a small chart. Put the heading. What is the heading? Classification of overheads. From that, draw 4 arrow marks down. From that, draw 4 arrow marks down. First one is by function. Second one is by nature. What is the first one? By function. What is the second one? By nature. Third one by element. Element wise classification. What is the third one? Element wise classification. Fourth one is control. Control wise classification. Fourth one is control wise classification. Okay. Under that, function, arrow mark down. Function. Here write down production or manufacturing overheads. Production or manufacturing overheads. Administration and office overheads. Selling and distribution overheads. So do you remember something when I say production overheads, administration and office overheads, selling and distribution overheads? It is similar to your cost sheet. Even I don't know how many of you people know this. We prepare P&L, no? We prepare P&L, profit and loss account. We prepare as per Schedule 3 requirements and all. There also nature wise classification can be given, or function wise classification also can be given. Maybe it is not allowed in India, but globally when you go to IFRS and when you read IFRS US GAAP, so P&L, they have two pro formas. If you want to classify expenses based on function, there is one pro forma. If you want to classify based on nature, there is another pro forma. Okay, element wise also you can do. Chalo, anyway, that is none of our business. Let us see. By function, overheads are broadly classified into 3: production overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. Okay, this is like your cost sheet. Nature, this is something similar to your marginal costing. What are they? Variable overheads, fixed overheads, semi-variable overheads. Semi-variable overheads. There is yet another thing also that is called step fixed overheads, but that is not discussed in our book. So let us not go into that. Step fixed overheads. So by nature, overheads are classified into 3. They are variable overheads, fixed overheads, semi-variable overheads. Now tell me, what is variable overheads? Variable overhead means they move in proportion to either production or sales. That means the level of activity and the expenses are proportionally. That means, they travel in same direction with same degree. Production increased, variable cost will increase. Production decreased, variable cost will decrease. This is called variable cost. What is fixed cost? Fixed cost in total remains constant irrespective of the level of activity. Whatever the level of activity is, this will be constant. That means, Pavan sir, I am producing 1000 units. 1 lakh rupees is the cost. Pavan sir, I am producing 1100 units. Cost will be 1 lakh only. I am producing 1500 units. Cost will be 1 lakh only. That means whether your volume of production or volume of sale increases or decreases, there will be no change in the cost. That is called fixed cost. Now what is semi-variable cost? This is very important. We'll solve one problem on this. Semi-variable cost. Semi-variable cost will have two components. One component of which is variable, one component of which is fixed. This is very significant in your budgeting and budgetary control chapter. You prepare flexible budgets, no? In that flexible budgets, this plays a very big role. Semi-variable cost plays a very big role. So whenever semi-variable cost is given, we need to split that into two parts. What are the two parts? Variable part and fixed part. I'll give you one example for that, don't worry. Now, by element, yesterday I told you by element costs are classified into three. What are they? Material cost, labor cost, expenses. So these are material component, labor component, expenses component. So obviously these are indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. Yesterday I told you this. By control, again very important, by control these are broadly categorized into two. What are they? Controllable overheads, controllable overheads, uncontrollable overheads. Do you remember in the first day, on the first day of class of costing itself, your teacher might have told you that one of the primary objectives of costing system is to control cost control, cost reduction. You remember cost control, cost reduction. So now, see, for example, I am paying rent 1 lakh rupees. Is it controllable? No, because I have legal contract. I have entered into contract with the landlord and I have, started my factory over there. And I said that, dear owner, I will pay you 1 lakh rupees per month. How can I control this? It is uncontrollable. It is very important for you to understand what is controllable, what is uncontrollable, what can be controlled, what cannot be controlled. Because only if it can be controlled, you will control it. Simple. Isn't it? Isn't it? So factory rent cannot be controlled. What about power consumption, electricity, other overheads? They can be controlled. So you need to focus more on this controllable expenses. You understand? So by nature, by function, by element, by control, we can classify overheads like this. Now in ICA study material, they have given one small example about this variable, fixed and semi-variable. Shall we look at it? A small example is there. We'll look at the example and then we'll move further. So introduction, then classification they have given, factory overheads, manufacturing production overheads, office and administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. They have given the meanings also. What is factory overhead? Here they have given stock keeping expenses, that means go down, repairs and maintenance, depreciation, indirect labor, cost of primary packing, insurance of plant and machinery, etc. What are administrative and office expenses? All these things you have studied in cost sheet, you remember. So here salary paid to office staff, repairs and maintenance of office building, depreciation on office building. Depreciation is a very dangerous word, okay? Depreciation on factory is factory overhead. Depreciation on corporate office is admin overhead. Depreciation on sales office or showroom or delivery van is selling and distribution overhead. Salaries are also same. If you are paying it to laborer, it is, if it is direct, you'll put it in direct labor. But if you are giving wages to workers who are working in the factory but who are not in direct production, like canteen, it is factory overhead. But at the same time, salaries can be paid to office staff also. Salaries can be paid to sales staff also. If you are paying it to sales staff, then you will put it in selling expenses. If you are paying it to corporate office staff, you will put it in administration expenses. Something like that. You understand? So postage and stationery, lease rentals, then accounting expenses, auditing expenses, etc. All these are administrative overheads. What are selling and distribution overheads? Salesman commission, then advertisement, sales office, delivery van expenses, transit insurance. All these things are selling expenses. Then by nature, fixed overheads, salaries paid to permanent staff. So when you are paying salaries to permanent staff, you will pay per month basis, like government job. Per month you need to pay this much. Okay, that is not linked with any of the parameters. It is per month basis. Then variable overheads. Okay, depreciation calculated based on per annum also is fixed overhead. Now remember, depreciation calculated on WDV basis or SLM basis is fixed overhead. Depreciation calculated based on machine hour rate is variable overhead. Interesting now. Depreciation calculated based on straight line method or WDV method. What is that? It is fixed overhead. Depreciation calculated based on machine hour basis is variable overhead. Okay, so they have given fixed overhead, variable overhead, semi-variable overhead. Now what is variable overhead? Indirect materials, power, fuel consumption, lubricants, tools and spares, etc. This is very important for service costing also. You remember service costing? In service costing also, you will categorize that into, variable overhead, fixed overhead, semi-variable overhead. Okay, operating cost, maintenance cost, running cost, we call. Then semi-variable overheads, electricity cost, water cost, telephone, internet expenses. Why, why? See, you have put some, you have taken one electricity connection from state government, you have taken one electricity connection. So how the billing will be? Minimum, you have to pay 200 rupees. Minimum, you have to pay 200 rupees. For that, they'll give you some 40 units or 30 units something. Beyond that, per unit, 8 rupees, something like this. So it will have, when you got the bill, you got 872 rupees bill. In that 872 rupees, one component is fixed, one component is variable. You understand? Similarly, internet also, telephone also, up to these many calls, this standard fixed rent you need to pay for landline. Beyond that, based on the consumption. Nowadays, everywhere it is unlimited free, but previously it was not like that, no. Previously, it was never like that. There is nothing called unlimited calls outgoing free. So they give up to 100 calls, you need to pay 500 rupees. Beyond that, per call, this is the tariff. Like that it will. And then by element, indirect materials, indirect labor cost, indirect expenses. I told you this. Then control wise, controllable cost, uncontrollable cost. Now student will ask a doubt, Pavan sir, why should I classify my overheads into any of these things? If I do not classify, what will happen? We will see one example. With the help of this example, you understand, oh my god, if I am not classifying overheads, my budgeting will be wrong. If I am not classifying my overheads into fixed, variable, semi-variable, or as the case may be, if you are not doing that, your budgeting will be wrong. So look here, they have given one small example. Suppose in October 2020, the output of a factory was 1000 units and the expenses were, so what are the expenses? Fixed cost 5 lakhs, variable cost 4 lakhs, semi-variable cost 40% fixed, that is 6 lakhs, total 15 lakhs. In November 2020, the output was likely to increase to 1200 units. In that case, the expenses will be as follows. So in October 2020, what is the number of units? 1000. What is the cost? 15 lakhs. Correct? Is this the data given? So in October, 1000 units and 15 lakhs. So what about November? In the month of November, you are estimating 1200 units. So what is the cost? So normally, if you do proportionately, what happens? 15 lakhs divided by 1000 into 1200, this comes to 18 lakhs. But if you budget your overheads with 18 lakhs, my dear friend, it is a mistake. It will not be 18 lakhs because these overheads are classified into 3 parts. What are they? Variable, fixed and semi-variable. So 18 lakhs is wrong answer. What is the correct answer? One fixed overheads. Fixed overheads given in the question. For 1000 units it is 5 lakhs. For 1200 also it will be 5 lakhs only. Given, no change, 5 lakhs. 2. Variable overheads. What is the second one? Variable overheads. So they said 4 lakhs. But this 4 lakhs is only for 1000 units, no? For 1000 units, if it is 4 lakhs, for 1200 units, how much? Proportionately, we need to calculate. Can you calculate and tell me how much it is? Is it 4,80,000? 4 lakhs divided by 1000 into 1200. Is it 4,80,000? Correct. 4,80,000. Then the third one, 3. What is the third one? Semi-variable. Put a star mark, important. Semi-variable overheads. Under the 2 components will be there. A, fixed overhead. B, variable overhead. So go back to the question. They said semi-variable overheads are 40% fixed. 40%. So 40%, tell me how much? Total semi-variable is 6 lakhs. Out of 6 lakhs, 40%. 6 lakhs into 40%. That is equal to, take calculator, it should be 2,40,000. 6 lakhs into 40%. 2,40,000. So since this is fixed cost, it won't change whether you are producing 1000 units or 1200 units. It will be same. But if it is variable, 60% is variable, no? 40% fixed means remaining 60% variable. So 60% variable, how much? 3,60,000. But this 3,60,000 is for 1000 units only, my dear friend. Next month you want 1200 units. So 3,60,000 divided by 1000 into 1200. So it comes to 4,32,000. So now if you add all these expenses, 4,32,000 plus 2,40,000 plus 4,80,000 plus 5 lakhs. This is 16,52,000. But if you do not classify overheads into semi-variable, variable and fixed, you will say 18 lakhs, which is wrong answer. If you do proper classification, then you will understand that it will be 16,52,000. You understand this? Copy this. Okay, under that, write down example. This is one example given in ICA material. I'll give you another example. Example. Under that, write down EA. 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 Cost is rupees 4 lakhs for 400 units and 5 lakhs for 500 units. What is the nature of cost? What is my question? There is some cost, some element of cost, some XYZ cost. You call it power, you call it rent, you call it salaries, some cost. It is 4 lakhs for 400 units. If you are producing 400 units, what is the cost? 4 lakhs. But if you are producing 500 units, the cost is 5 lakhs. What is the nature? Obviously, it is variable cost. Answer, variable cost. Why it is variable cost? See, for 400 units, if it is 4 lakhs, for 500 units, how much? Okay, calculate proportionately. How do we calculate? 4 lakh divided by 400 units into 500 units is equal to 5 lakhs. So this is perfect equation for variable cost. So variable cost not only moves in same direction, it moves proportionately. It moves proportionately. This is situation 1. Situation 2. An element of cost is 8 lakhs for 10,000 units and it remains same for 12,000 units also. What is the nature of cost? What is the second question? Second question is, an element of cost is 8 lakhs for 10,000 units and it remains the same even if you produce 12,000 units also. What is the nature of this cost? Tell me. What is the nature of this cost? Bolo. It is fixed cost. It is fixed cost. Why it is fixed cost? Because though the level of activity is changing, Though the level of activity is changing, the cost will not change. Third one is very important. For producing 1000 units, an element of cost is, for producing 1000 units, an element of cost is 6 lakhs. For producing 1000 units, an element of cost is 6 lakhs. When 1200 units are produced, the cost is 6,72,000. The cost is 6,72,000. What is the nature of cost? What is the nature of cost? Okay, now see, is it fixed cost? No. Because if it is fixed cost, for 1000 units, if it is 6 lakhs, for 1200 units also, it should be 6 lakhs only. So, can I say this is not fixed overhead? This is not fixed overhead. Correct. Is this variable overhead? Let us check. It is not variable overhead also. Is it variable overhead? No. Why it is not variable overhead? See, if it is variable overhead, for 1000 units, if it is 6 lakhs, for 1000 units, it should be proportionately 6 lakhs divided by 1000 units into 1200 units. It should be 6 lakhs divided by 1000 into 1200. It should be 7,20,000. If it is variable, it should be 7,20,000. So, is it variable? No. Is it fixed? No. So, an element of cost which is neither variable nor fixed is semi-variable. So, this is semi-variable overhead. Having said this, split it into variable and fixed. Okay, now look here. Level of activity, cost. Level of activity 1000, cost 6 lakhs. Level of activity 1200, cost 6,72,000. This is given in the question, correct? 6,72,000 are given. Yes. Now calculate the difference. Calculate the difference. Change in level of activity. Difference in level of activity is 200. Difference in level of activity is 200. And difference in cost is 72,000. Difference in cost is 72,000. Okay, now difference in cost divided by difference in activity is equal to 72,000 divided by 200. That is equal to 72,000 divided by 200. That is equal to 360. That is equal to 360. What is this 360 per unit? 360 is variable component. So variable component is equal to difference in cost divided by difference in activity. That is 360 rupees. Okay, now take 1000 units. For this 360 rupees. 360 rupees is the variable component, is equal to 3,60,000. This is variable. So total cost 6 lakhs at 1000 unit minus 3,60,000, that is equal to 2,40,000 is fixed component 6 lakhs. Now I tell you one interesting thing, okay? First we have done one example, ICA example, reverse engineering, that only I converted into case study. To explain you how to split semi-variable cost into variable cost and fixed cost, I have taken the same example. Now look here, at 1200 units production, variable component is 1200 into 360. So 1200 into 360, how much? 4,32,000. Then fixed component is equal to, given already we calculated 2,40,000. Add this to 6,72,000. This is what given in the question. Khatam. Isn't it easy? This you will use extensively in budgeting chapter. There is one chapter at the end of the syllabus, budgeting. This you will use extensively there. You understand? That's it. Is this clear? So now shall we go to redistribution of overheads? Very important. Okay, now read this diagram. Let us move on to another very important aspect of overheads in costing topic. In costing subject, another important aspect in overheads. Yesterday, do you remember, I have clearly explained what is the meaning of allocation, what is the meaning of apportionment, what is the meaning of reapportionment, what is the meaning of absorption. That four we have discussed. We are continuing with that. So read the diagram given in ICA material. Estimation of overheads by standing orders through budgeting process. How will you estimate overheads? Management instructions you need to consider and you need to estimate. That's all. Then to allocation. Directly attributable expenses of the cost center or the department will be given to that particular cost center or department. For example, department 1 wages will be included in department 1 only. These are called directly attributable expenses. This is 1. 2. Apportionment of overheads. What is the second one? Apportionment. These are joint expenses. So there are more than one cost center or one cost unit. Okay, I'll give you one simple example. Yesterday I have given so many examples, you understand the concept, but still. You went to one electronic appliances showroom, Bismi Electronics or Bajaj Electronics. You bought a television. How much is television? 1 lakh. Big television you bought. And your house is here. You asked them, hey, send that TV to my house. They said, sir, 1000 rupees expenses, sir. Okay. So you paid 1000 rupees to the auto rickshaw fellow and this TV is delivered here. TV is put in your house. So this 1000 rupees of transportation cost is directly attributable to television. This is example 1. Example 2. Example 2. You went to Bajaj Electronics, you bought one TV, you bought one mixer grinder, you bought one refrigerator, you bought one washing machine. So you bought 4 items. Then you asked the manager, hey, this is the money, can you please send all these 4 items to my house? He said, okay sir, 1500 rupees. You paid 1500 rupees for a TV, for mixer grinder, for refrigerator, for washing machine. Put together, is this 1500 for one item? No, this 1500 is for 4 items put together. So here cost and cost center or cost unit do not have one-to-one relationship. One cost, 4 cost centers, 4 cost units. This is where you need to allocate expenses. Dear 1500 rupees of transportation cost, out of this 1500, I am giving 600 rupees to TV, 400 rupees to washing machine, 200 rupees to mixer grinder, 300 rupees to refrigerator. So this is, you have divided the cost, allocated the cost, distributed the cost to cost centers, cost unit on some reasonable basis. Pavan sir, how you apportioned this? There could be some basis. The basis can be value of the asset. The basis can be anything else also. Okay, now, so this is about allocation apportionment. Now, reapportionment of overheads. Put the heading. Today, this is what we are going to do. We'll solve 4 or 5 problems on this. Reapportionment. Reapportionment of overheads. This is the heading. Today we are going to discuss this reapportionment of overheads. Under that, write down point number 1. Under that, write down point number 1. Point number 1. Reapportionment or redistribution. Reapportionment or redistribution of overheads refers to reapportionment or redistribution of overheads refers to distribution of service department overheads to production departments. Distribution of service department overheads to production departments. Point number 2. This is point number 1. Point number 2. Production departments are the departments. Production departments are the departments which are engaged in production. Whereas service departments are not engaged in direct production, but they render certain services. To production departments. That means they indirectly help in production. That means they indirectly contribute to production. They do not do direct production, they do indirect. For example, canteen, repairs and maintenance, security, etc. Canteen, repairs and maintenance, security, etc. So these kind of people, they do not do production directly, but they will help production indirectly through rendering certain services. Next, point number 3. To calculate cost per cost unit. We use the following formula. To calculate cost per cost unit, we use the following formula. Total cost divided by, either we can consider number of hours or we can consider output. Total cost divided by hours or output. Normally we take total cost divided by output. Consider this, total cost divided by output. Okay, what is the formula? Cost per unit is equal to cost divided by number of units produced or output. Okay, now when we are considering service department, denominator is the problem. In service department, numerator is there, cost will incur, but denominator no output. Then what will we do? Simple redistribution, reapportionment. That is what we are discussing now. You understand? Now, after that, write down point number 4. When it comes to service departments, when it comes to service departments, comma, these departments also incur costs. These departments also incur cost, but they do not produce any output. But they do not produce any output. But they do not produce any output. Therefore, service department costs are to be borne by production departments in the ratio of benefits or services received by each production department. Therefore, service department costs are to be borne by production departments in the ratio of benefits or services received by production departments. Okay, now write down one example. In X Limited, in a factory, there are 3 production departments, namely PD1, PD2, PD3. There are 80 workers in production department 1, 40 workers in production department 2, 80 workers in production department 1, 40 workers in production department 2, and 20 workers in production department 3. There are 80 workers in production department 1, 40 workers in production department 2, 20 workers in production department 3. Also, there is a canteen where 10 workers work. Also, there is a canteen where 10 workers work. Canteen serves all the workers of 3 production departments. Total costs incurred by canteen in a specific period is 1,20,000. 1,20,000. Total cost incurred by canteen for a period is 1,20,000. Okay, how this cost should be borne by production departments? This is the question. You calculate and tell me the answer. So total cost of running the canteen is 1,20,000. Okay, so how much you will give to production department 1, how much you will give to production department 2, how much you will give to production department 3? Can I say production department 1, production department 2, production department 3, 80 workers, 40 workers, 20 workers. So the ratio is 1:2, 2:4. So this 1,20,000 rupees should be apportioned in this ratio. So 1,20,000 into 4/7. 1,20,000 into 4 divided by 7. That is 68,571. Okay, next one 1,20,000 into 2 by 7. Next one 1,20,000 into 1 by 7. Second one is 34,286. Next one is 17,143. Now try to add all these numbers plus 34,286 plus 68,571. Correct. 1,20,000. This is the answer. This is how you distribute service department cost to production department. Now, Pavan sir, this is very easy. No. Now there are three situations. Imagine there are two service centers, service department 1, service department 2. If one service department is not rendering any services to the other service departments, your life is so simple. This is situation 1. There are two service departments, none, or maybe there are two or more, one or two or more service departments. None of the service center renders services to the other service center. That means service center renders service only to production center. Happy. Second situation is one service department SD1 renders services to PD1, PD2, SD2 also. That means one service department is rendering service to another service department, but it is not receiving services. This is situation 3. This will render service to the other service department, and other service department will render service to this service department, making it a loop. So what we need to understand here is, imagine there is service department 1. There is service department 1. It renders services to production department 1. It renders services to production department 2. It renders services to production department 3. Now the service department 1 cost, distributing it to PD1, PD2, PD3 is so simple. This is what we have done in canteen example just now. There is only one service department which is rendering services to various production departments, which is actually easy. You understand? Next, imagine there is another service department SD2. Now SD1 is rendering service to SD2 also. This is second situation. Third situation is SD2 again will render service to SD1. So here simultaneous equations. So SD1 is giving services to SD2, SD2 is giving services to SD1. So there are three situations: SD1, SD2. Okay, so there are PD1, PD2, PD3. This will render services to these three people. This will render services to these three people. But this is not there. This is not there. Service department 1 is not giving any services to department 2. Service department 2 is not giving any service to service department 1. Happy. Second situation is service department 1 is giving service to service department 2 also, in addition to giving services to PD1, PD2, PD3. Now also it is easy. The expenses of SD1 will be apportioned between PD1, PD2, PD3 and SD2. Third situation, what happens? SD1 is rendering services to SD2. SD2 is rendering services to SD1, and SD1 is rendering services to PD1, PD2, PD3. SD2 is also rendering services to PD1, PD2, PD3. Here we need to use simultaneous equations. Little bit of mathematics. So these three methods, what are the three methods? First situation, no service by any of the service department to the other service department. Second one is step ladder method. Third one is simultaneous equations. Again here reciprocal. This simultaneous equation method, there are again three methods. Trial and error method is there, simultaneous equation method is there, repeated redistribution method is there. So total 5 problems we need to do. Simple problems, don't worry. Once we do these 5 problems, this module will be over. So shall we go and solve some problems here? Shall we solve some problems? Are you ready? So they have given one table. This is self-explanatory. Overhead cost on the left hand side, basis of apportionment on the right hand side. This is for apportionment. That means common costs. So 1500 rupees is your transportation cost. Four assets like television, refrigerator, washing machine, mixer grinder. 4 assets are bought, one cost. So how will you apportion? That is the topic here. Rent, rates, expenses, other building expenses based on floor area, lighting, heating, air conditioning, fire precaution, etc. Floor area. Then second one is perquisites, labor welfare expenses, timekeeping, personnel expenses, supervision based on number of workers. Do you remember similar table you have seen in departmental accounting accounts? I think 12th chapter in your accounts. Same table is there. Depreciation based on capital value, power, steam, etc. based on technical estimates, or you will prepare a composite ratio. What is the composite ratio? What is the composite ratio? Horsepower of the machines into machine hours. Like that we'll calculate one composite ratio. That will come in this problems also, don't worry. Electric power, horsepower of machines, number of machine hours, etc. Then material handling, stores, overhead, based on weight of materials, based on volume of materials, based on value of materials, etc. Like this. So they have given differences between allocation and apportionment, pure theory. Okay. Then look here, copy this in your notebook. Methods of reapportionment. Methods of reapportionment. Put the heading like this: methods of reapportionment. From that 3 arrow marks down. Methods of reapportionment. From that 3 arrow marks down. First one is direct redistribution method. Direct redistribution method. So what is this? SD1 is not giving any service to SD2. SD2 is not giving any service to SD1. Then we follow direct redistribution method. SD1 is not giving service to SD2. SD2 is not giving service to SD1. You understand? Second one is step method. This is also called a step ladder method. Step method. Or step ladder method you can call. Step method. Non-reciprocal method or non-reciprocal method. Non-reciprocal method. So one department will give service to another department, but second department will not give service to first department. So only one way service is there. Third one is reciprocal method. Third one is reciprocal method. So here SD1 gives service to SD2, SD2 gives service to SD1. Okay, again in reciprocal method there are 3 methods. Simultaneous equation method. Simultaneous equation method. Trial and error method. Trial and error method. Repeated distribution method. Repeated distribution method. Simultaneous equations method, trial and error method, repeated distribution method. Copy this. Copy this. Let us see problem number 1. Put the heading illustration 1. Open your ICI study material. XL Limited has 3 production departments and 4 service departments. How many production departments are there? 3. How many service departments are there? 4. The expenses of these departments as per primary distribution summary are as follows. What is primary distribution? Already we have seen one table, rent based on the square feet, that table. So when you do that, it is called primary distribution. That episode is over already. So production department A, 30 lakhs cost. Production department B, 26 lakhs cost. Production department C, 24 lakhs cost. Total 80 lakhs. Service department, stores department, 4 lakhs. Timekeeping and accounts department, 3 lakhs. Power, 1,60,000. Canteen, 1 lakh. Total, 9,60,000. So what is the total? 9,60,000. So what is the total cost of the factory? 80 lakhs plus 9,60,000. Total 89,60,000. Now this 4 are to be apportioned to the 3 production departments. The following information is also available in respect of production departments. Horsepower of machine 300, 300, 200. Number of workers 20, 15, 15. Value of stores requisition 2,50,000, 1,50,000, 1 lakh. Prepare a statement apportioning the cost of service departments over the production departments using direct redistribution method. Okay, put the heading solution. Problem number 1, solution. Direct redistribution method. What is the meaning of direct redistribution method? Direct redistribution method means one service department is not rendering any service to another service department. That means service departments are exclusively working for the benefit of production departments. One service department is not rendering any service to other service department. You understand? Direct redistribution method, put the heading. Okay, under that statement showing reapportionment of service department overheads to production department. Statement showing reapportionment of service department overheads to production departments. Okay, under that prepare this table. Item, first one is item, then second one is basis of apportionment. Basis of apportionment. Next, ratio. Total. Then we have 3 production departments. Production department. What are 3 production department? Production department A, production department B, production department C. Okay, prepare this table. Simple question. If you understand the concept, pretty simple question. Okay, so what is the first item? Cost as per primary distribution. Cost as per primary distribution. Given. So what is total? 80 lakhs. For production departments, 80 lakhs. In that 80 lakhs, what about A? 30 lakhs, 26 lakhs, 24 lakhs. Total is 80 lakhs. In the department A is 30 lakhs, department B is 26 lakhs, department C is 24 lakhs. Okay, now we need to consider the expenses of the departments. Stores department. Okay, stores department. What is stores department cost? Tell me. 4 lakhs. Total 4 lakhs. Stores department total 4 lakhs. Now you tell me this 4 lakh rupees is to be distributed between ABC in what ratio? You tell me. So look at the data given. Look at the data given. Stores department. Use common sense. No intelligence. No intelligence. You don't need to be genius. Use common sense. Stores department expenses. Shall I distribute in horsepower of machine? No. Shall I distribute in number of workers? No. Shall I distribute in value of store requisition? Yes. Now you tell me what is the ratio of these three items. 2,50,000 is to 1,50,000 is to 1 lakh. Can I say 5 is to 3 is to 2? Value of stores. Basis is value of store requisition. Five is to 3 is to 2. Okay, distribute and tell me. 4 lakhs divided by 10 into 5. That comes to 2 lakhs. 3. 1,20,000. 2. 80,000. So you have distributed service department cost. What is the service department? Stores department cost. You have distributed it to production department 1 to 3. What is the ratio? In the ratio of value of store requisition. In the ratio of value of store requisition. This is service department 1. What is the second department? Timekeeping and accounts. Timekeeping. Do you remember what is timekeeping? You might have studied this in labor chapter. What is timekeeping? So when the worker is coming into the company, into the factory, when the worker is going out of the factory, recording the time. Timekeeping department. So it is directly related to number of workers. So timekeeping, number of workers, 20 is to 15 is to 15. 20 is to 15 is to 15. Can I say 4 is to 3 is to 3? Hello, can I say number of workers 4 is to 3 is to 3? Distribute and tell me. 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs. Distribute and tell me. Total 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs divided by 10 into 4. So for first one it is 1,20,000. Second one it is 90,000. Third one 90,000. Correct. Then what is the third department? Third one, power, 1,60,000. Power. Okay. How will you distribute power expenses? How will you distribute power expenses? In the question, horsepower of machines is given. 3 is to 3 is to 2. Okay. Horsepower of machine. 3 is to 2 is to 2. So how many portions total? 7. 3 is to 2 is to 2. 1,60,000 divided by 7 into 3. 68,571. 2. 45,714. 45,714. You can write this 2. to round off. Correct. 1,60,000 we have distributed in the ratio of horsepower of machines. Then there is one more department, canteen. Canteen also obviously number of workers. Canteen expenses 1 lakh. Canteen. So we'll take based on number of workers. 4:3:3. Means 10 portions. So here 40,000, 30,000, 30,000. Correct? Correct. Now add this 4 items. Okay. So first one is 80 lakhs plus 4 lakhs. 84 plus 3, 87, 88, 89 lakhs 60,000. Now calculate first department 3 lakhs. Sorry, first one is 30 lakhs plus 2 lakhs plus 1,20,000 plus 68,572 plus 40,000. That is equal to 34,28,572. 34,28,572. Here it is to be written. Okay. Next one is 26 lakhs plus 1,20,000 plus 90,000 plus 45,714 plus 30,000. It is 28,85,714. 28 lakhs 85,714 rupees. Then the third one, 24 lakhs plus 80,000 plus 90,000 plus 45714 plus 30,000. That is 26,45,714. 26,45,714. Now tell me, do you understand this? If you add all these three, 89,60,000 will come. So what did we do? Simple. Service department overheads we have distributed or we have charged to production department. That's all. Okay, once you are done, let me know that you have copied, then we'll go to second model. Shall we go to next model? So check the answer. Did we get 34,20,000? So maybe they have rounded it off. No issues. 34,20,000 and then 28,85,714. So how come they got all round figures? Did we do any mistake? Did we do any mistake? Power should be horsepower of machine 3:2:2. Correct. Horsepower of machine how much? Did we do it wrong? Horsepower of machine. Yeah, 3:3:2. That's what we have done. Oh, this is a mistake. 3:2:2 I have taken, but in the question it is 3. Dude, it is 3:3:2. This one, please make a note. We have done 3:2:2. It is a mistake. It is 3:3:2. Please be careful. 3:3:2. When you distribute 3:3:2, what will happen? So take 1,60,000 divided by 3:3:2. 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8. Now round figures will come into 3. Correct. It is 60,000. It is again 60,000. It is 40,000. This is right answer. Please make a note. This is right answer. We have taken 3:2:2, but it should be 3:3:2. I'm sorry, my mistake. My mistake. Concept is correct. You know, by mistake, instead of 3:3:2, we have taken 3:2:2. Don't do this kind of chiller mistakes in the exam, okay? If you do not know concept and if you have done wrong answer, still it is pardonable. Bacha hai, chota bacha, small kid, he doesn't know the concept. Let it be. This kind of Clerical mistakes, if you do, not pardonable. You need to slap yourself. Chiller mistakes. Don't do this kind of mistakes. Okay. So are we done? Give a thumbs up. Then we'll go to next question. All of you, are we ready? Question number 2. Question number 2. Suppose the expenses of 2 production departments A and B and 2 service departments X and Y are as under. Department. Production department X, Y, then department A, department B. A and B are service departments. No, X and Y. Production departments are A and B. Very good. Service departments are X and Y. Okay, very good. Department X, 2 lakhs. Super. Now this 2 lakhs should be borne by. This 2 lakhs should be borne by Y, A, B. That means department X is rendering service to department Y. Now department Y, 1,50,000. It is not rendering to department. Department Y is not rendering to department X. Department Y is rendering service only to A and B. That means one service department is rendering service to another service department, but reciprocal not applicable. See, you are one service department, I am one service department. You are one service department, I am one service department. You are rendering service to me, but I am not rendering service to you. That is second model. In third model, you will render services to me, I will render services to you. Reciprocal method, simultaneous equations will use, or repeated redistribution will use, or trial and error method will use. That drama is not available in this question. This is rather a simple question. Okay, so department A, 3 lakhs. Department B, 3,20,000. These are production departments. Prepare a statement apportioning the cost of service departments over the production departments using step method. Simple answer. Okay, put the heading problem number 2. Redistribution. Redistribution of service department expenses to production departments. Redistribution of service department expenses to production departments. Under that, department X, Y, A, B. Department X, Y, A, B. Okay, now, so first whatever they have given after primary distribution we'll take. So cost as per primary distribution given in the question. Cost as per primary distribution given in the question. How much they have given? 2 lakh for department X. For department Y, 1,50,000, 3 lakhs, 3,20,000. Okay, this is primary data. This is primary data. Now expenses of department X. Expenses of department X to be given to Y is to A is to B. Department X is rendering services to Y, A, B. Go to the question, Y, A, B. In what ratio? 25 is to 40 is to 35. 25 is to 40 is to 35. Okay, so department X, what is the cost? 2 lakhs. So here 2 lakhs minus 0. You are giving this 2 lakhs to other people, no? So your cost 2 lakhs incurred. When you are charging to other departments, effectively your cost will be 0. So this 2 lakhs will be distributed in this ratio 25%. 50,000 to Y, 40%. 80,000 to A, 35%. 70,000 to B. Correct? 50, 80, 70. Correct. Okay, this is 0. This is 1,50,000 plus 50,000, 2 lakhs. Sorry, this is 2 lakhs. So here department Y, if you take, what is the total cost of department Y? Its own cost 1,50,000. Its own cost 1,50,000 plus its share in department X cost is 50,000. So total 2 lakhs. Now I need to distribute department Y cost only to A and B. Y is not rendering any service to X. So what is the ratio? 40 is to 60. 40 is to 60. Okay, so here not applicable. Here 2 lakhs. Okay, in what ratio? 40 is to 60 ratio. So 40 means 80,000. 60 means 1,20,000. Okay, now totals. Here 0. Here 0, why 0, 0? Because service department cost you have charged to production department. Now if you take A, 3 lakhs plus 80 plus 80. So 4,60,000. 3 lakhs plus 80,000 plus 80,000, 4,60,000. Then 320 plus 70 plus 3,20,000 plus 70,000 plus 1,20,000. 5,10,000. Okay, now add this to small verification will do. Add this to 9,70,000 production department cost. Now go to the problem, add all these things. 2 lakhs plus 1,50,000 plus 3 lakhs plus 3,20,000, 9,70,000. So production department, service department, all costs put together is 9,70,000. But finally, when you have done this redistribution, production departments alone, they are bearing 9,70,000. This is what we call reallocation, reapportionment or redistribution table. That's all. So this is situation 2, where X is rendering service to Y, but Y is not rendering service to X. In the next model, we do reciprocal. You understand? So any doubts in this question? Hello, any doubts? Please let me know whether you understand it. So with this, we'll stop here class for the day, and tomorrow we'll do repeated redistribution also, which is actually more important. Simultaneous equations and all is more important. After that, I'll explain you tomorrow what is under absorption, what is the accounting treatment of under absorption, what is over absorption, and what is the accounting treatment of over absorption. So are we done for the day? Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.